Connecticut made the most of its opportunity on the first football-less Sunday of the year, delivering a statement performance that announced their Final Four aspirations. The No.7 Huskies handed No.4 South Carolina a devastating 87-58 loss at Colonial Life Arena, snapping the Gamecocks' 71-game home winning streak. The game remained competitive for about 7 minutes before UConn unleashed a vintage performance that completely dominated South Carolina. This was UConn's first road win over a top 5 team since 2018, and it marked their first 20-plus point road victory over a top 5 opponent since 2014. The Huskies needed this win to strengthen their resume, especially given their unremarkable non-conference schedule and the lack of high-level competition in the Big East. "We had yet to play a full 40 minutes of great basketball," UConn guard Azzi Fudd said. "And we did that today." In contrast, South Carolina guard Te-Hina Paopao was blunt about her team's performance, saying the Gamecocks got punked, and calling the result embarrassing. This shocking result added another twist to the already volatile national title race, which had already seen an upset from Southern Cal, who toppled No.1 UCLA earlier in the week. South Carolina, which entered Sunday as the favorite to repeat as national champions, now faces the reality that their path to another title is no longer a given. There could be more shakeups ahead. No.3 Texas hosts No.5 LSU later in the day, marking their first SEC meeting. Here are the key takeaways from the game. Azzi Fudd hitting peak form. Fudd was exceptional in the second half, finishing with a game-high 28 points on 50% shooting and 60% from three-point range. After a slow start, 2 of 10 from the field, Fudd exploded, going 5-0-7 from beyond the arc in the second half and 4-0-5 from two-point range. Her strong showing was part of a stellar stretch, as she is averaging 26.3 points and 6.3 three-pointers per game since UConn's loss to Tennessee. This included a career-high 34 points against St. John's. UConn built its lead without much from Fudd or Paige Bueckers, who had a subpar game by her standards, 3-0-12 shooting, 12 points, 10 assists, and 7 rebounds. But once Fudd and Bueckers find their rhythm together, UConn could be even more dominant. Freshman Sarah Strong was also a standout, contributing 16 points and 13 rebounds, while senior Jana El Alfi impressed with a solid all-around performance, 8 points, 6 rebounds. Ashlyn Shade's three-point shooting sets the tone. South Carolina coach Dawn Staley urged her team during a first-half timeout to prevent UConn from playing their preferred brand of basketball. UConn proceeded to do just that, shooting 50% from three-point range in the first half to take a commanding 45-23 lead. Ashlyn Shade was a key part of that effort, making all 3 of her three-point attempts, while Fudd, Bueckers, Strong, and Caitlin Chen each contributed 1. South Carolina, in contrast, made only 2-0-9 three-pointers and struggled in other areas, including losing the rebounding battle 23-13 and failing to execute in transition. UConn outscored them 13-5 on fast breaks. For UConn, efficiency from beyond the arc will be crucial moving forward in the NCAA tournament. In their 3 losses this season, they struggled from deep, making less than 27% of their three-point attempts. South Carolina lacking a dominant offensive star. Strong, who had previously committed to UConn following the program's Final Four loss to Iowa, showed her value in this game, with 16 points and 13 rebounds. South Carolina's lack of a dominant forward continues to hinder them. Freshman Joyce Edwards, while promising, is still developing, 17 points, 5 rebounds. The absence of veteran Ashlyn Watkins due to an ACL injury has forced South Carolina to recalibrate without a clear go-to scorer who can take over a game. While teams like UConn and USC have players such as Fudd, Bueckers, and Juju Watkins who can take control when needed, South Carolina lacks that type of player. As a result, when shots aren't falling, they can quickly find themselves in trouble. The Gamecocks have lost 3 of the 5 games in which they shot below 40%, further highlighting this issue. South Carolina has had a turbulent week, with their 57-game SEC regular season winning streak snapped by Texas on February 9, and now this loss to UConn. As the season progresses, Staley's team will need to find a way to rebound from these setbacks and regain their title-contending form.